that is that. Giving you a nail video. And I have a very good one for you. I found this unusual technique that seems very cool with a very see-through polish on top of some slightly more opaque, like this one. Yes, that's right. That's what I'm going to recreate in my own color scheme. I'm doing it with this pink, and this is the see-through color I have. It's not going to be a nude-ish. It's going to be this pink, which you can make it opaque enough if you do enough coats, but it's better if you do this color over another color if you're going to do that, but I'm not doing that, so it's this, and if I can get this to work, as it is kind of thin, it's kind of made to go on top of something, I'm going to put that at the bottom, like it shows a sparkle at the bottom. Or I could do this, which is thicker, which is actually more of a hollow, I think. It kind of is a hollow, but I think it's more silver than hollow, but this is kind of a hollow. Almost, because it shows the rainbow effect, but at some point the hollow doesn't come out as much, so it's very tiny, tiny hollow. So we'll see about that, but this is definitely the color combination for the tip, for the whole nail, and one of these sparkly silver polishes for the bottom part that you saw in that picture. So with no further ado, let's get to the nail making of makings, as I give my positive vibes. So in my new tie-dye shirt I got for myself, yes, that's right. So here we go. Enjoy some cool nails. Well, here we go with the sparkle I'm going to use. In some lighting it kind of looks hollow, but it's not really. But yeah, I'm doing it on the bottom here because I'm doing the sparkle and then the color of the tip and then a color to kind of go all over it, like I'm going to do. I'm just making sure that this is nice and a good amount of the sparkle so it shines through what I'm going to be doing nicely. There we go. And this is the color I'm going to use on the tip before I use the pink that I'm going to use, not yellow. On the nice tip of my nail, like French. Because these nails are kind of long. I'm trying to do it at least low enough to not show any of the long nail, because I don't like to do that. So maybe this doesn't fully work. It would be better maybe on a shorter nail, but that's okay. As it looked good as well this way, I just didn't want to show any of the free edge of my nail. So there we go. And here is the pink I'm going to use. Just says nail polish. It says A-OK. Some generic brand, but it works. So here we go. As it is see-through, it's going to only show a tinge of the pink and all that. It's depending on how many layers you put, of course, as well. So the sparkle's not going to be as sparkly, but it's still going to be somewhat. So there we go. There we go. Some nails that you just saw that I did. Yes, this overtoned yellow pink, didn't go as opaque and kind of cloudy as some other colors might go, but it worked pretty well over top of making the bottom part that color, and then maybe ever so slightly in certain light, making the blue, but the blue for the most part is doing its thing with a slight sparkle underneath or at the end. So, for whatever it's worth, it came out pretty nice and interesting. Even if it just gave a little more pinkish tinge to the sparkle and nail bed than it did the blue, still did something to the blue its own way. So maybe another time I might do one with a more cloudy color, so maybe the blue or any other color I might do in some other way, if I do that technique in some different way again. And some down the line, months or whatever it might be, till I do it again. If I get one that's like this, but cloudier, then maybe I will. And maybe more nudish color, like it was in the picture, or any other color. I guess that would have been that this might have worked, maybe, but that's okay. Whichever, it looks great. I am glad and happy with what came out with the technique that I got from that nail art. This is why it's good to look up stuff, get your juices flowing, find ideas, then pick your colors from what you see they've done, your versions, with your colors, keeping the sparkle if they did any, or add sparkle even if they didn't do sparkle, because that's me, adding the sparkle. And picking whatever sparkle that I would like that goes with the color I choose, depending on what I have at the time, like what I have right now. This is the color that I have. That it's pretty thin, as you can tell, as it didn't cover up my blue much. And the blue is pretty dark as it is as well, so there's that too. It's not like I put this on top of all white or really, really light blue, so that's fine. We all do what we want to do, even if it's just ever so slight difference like that. It's still nice. So without that and further ado, maybe comment down below and show me any nail designs you've done of, like, maybe if you ever recreate any of like this one in your own color scheme. Maybe if you used a color that was more cloudy, like I said, like in the image that's on top of it, then cool. But at least I use this. It's kind of a generic brand of pink. The bottle makes you think of a brand that's not generic, but it's, even though I don't know why, but it's generic, which is fine because it works well. Well, maybe there are brands called Color Cosmetic, that's what it says, which is a very generic name, I'd say, because the thing, it just says nail polish, number blunt, net, and that's how much. Oh wow, it's a bigger bottle than usual, I think. Usually it's 15, this is 18. Let me see. Yeah, this is 12, which is the typical size. So, if you think about it, there's more polish in this bottle than there is in this one. Dang, I thought this was 12. Let's see. Now I'm curious about what this one is. Oh, this is the same size as this bottle. That's why I thought it might be the same, and it is the same. Actually, no, it's not. This one just a tiny bit less. This is 14, this is 18. Dang, that's not very typical. Most common, I know I'm now going on even further slightly, but oh well, because you know me, get into polishes sometimes and I see something unusual. 40 fluid ounces is very common, which is 12 milliliters. Sorry about that. I think even the Simply Nailogical brand I have is 12. Sorry about my cough. I'm just choking a little bit on my spit. Somewhat. Let me see here. Yeah, even this, which could be up there in price depending on what you get from them, and there is shipping involved as well, depending on where it's getting sent. The cheapest shipping, I would say, is probably sent when you're in the States. You still have to pay for some shipping because she doesn't have all the means like lots of brands do, which is, you know, or companies more like Amazon and places like those huge things. And then the one way they get around not being in other countries is they're in that country as well, so they don't even have to worry about overthink, because you're not going from the U.S. to there. So there's that. But that's beside the point. It's good quality stuff. If you can afford it, cool. But I was just looking at it because it's like the most high-end, really like luxury nail brand, besides other ones, of course, but that I know that's not like woof, maybe, or whatever, but that's usually more like gel and stuff. It's just still a good price. And it's 12, so it's like crazy. China glaze, I don't think is considered extremely, might be like $10 polish usually, which is a typical price. And her stuff's more like 12, sometimes 15, because some of her stuff really is like jam-packed, and you don't make it for that. You really have to, she's not trying to make 100%, like a lot of money on her stuff. She's even said that. So there's that. I don't know why I'm bringing her into it, but you know how she's one of my favorites. And I'm so glad she's made this brand of stuff, because it's just cool. I love the things that she does. Some of the things I don't always need from her, but there's a few things here and there that she does that really makes it interesting. And I know the quality of what she does is really good and all that stuff. But I know there's stuff out there, at least polishes somewhat, that if I can find them, they are cheaper than hers for just colors. Even though she does some really awesome colors, which are unique. And I think a lot of her colors, the one thing about them is you do get a good size bottle. But you do get a good size bottle. Most brands are usually around 12. Those brands are usually good too. But with hers, you do get the thing where they're all very, very, very opaque for the most part. So, because I've seen people try them, and most of them work, I think. It might depend on which ones, how they're made, because I think different ones are made slightly, but I think they're all made pretty much the same. They have a capacity where they're really good for nail plates. And not every brand is good for that fully. It could be if it's slightly old-ish, not thick-ish, or whatever. Or it can be okay, but not always reliable. And it seems like if I got hers, you'd have reliableness with nail plates. So, actually thinking about that, if it makes sense, down the line, maybe I'll get a color of hers at some point. I do have her white, so I did get a color. Because that's something that's hard to get, and her white is really good. Black's not too hard to get, it's just that most blacks you have to do 2 coats, even if it's good quality. Some are streakier than others, but with hers, it's 1 coat black. And tons of people have said it is. And I know that she would make it like that, because she did a whole video on a whole bunch of that kind of stuff. Making a video before she made her own polish, she found the best one you can buy out there, that's already out there, that's a 1 coat. So she had this 1 coat polish you got all the time, but now she just uses her own. Mostly she just wears her own polish. Why not? If you're making it, if you're getting it made, why not show it off and always wear it, especially when you're doing swatches. I personally hope we never have a nail brand, because I'm not that keen. I've always just used other people's brands, because at least hers, and just whatever I find, and find some good brands and make sure I do that, because we're going back to this UK, and they have that one brand that's a really good price for what it is. In the States, you can get it, but you get the bigger bottles, which are the ones that are more like $10, because you can get other ones, but they're not the 12 milliliters. Because in some of my videos, I haven't been fully using this base coat, which really is a good base coat, especially if you're just putting a base coat on by itself. This one from that brand, from London, from Rimmel London, Rimmel. You probably know because I use it a lot. This is getting too done for, so I need more. So when I start going back to the UK, I'll be getting this again. So this is a very good brand, and they have the cheaper ones, which are like £3 at the most. Which, let's see, which is their, the 60-minute dry, and they do pretty much dry in not 60 minutes, 60 seconds dry, and they are 8 milliliters. They're really cheap, so you're not getting a lot, because they do have the bigger bottles, which I think are more money, like maybe £5 or more, but that's fine, because you are getting more polish for the money, so there's that too, and it's not the 60 seconds. Like I've always said, be wary when you do 60 seconds drying polishes, because I think Sally Hansen's 60-second polish, or there's some other 60-second one that it was good for stamping, but it wasn't good for a base color, because it would just chip right off. Because it doesn't always matter just the base coat and the top coat. You do gotta matter the polish in the middle, how good that is too. It's a combination of everything. Top coat can do wonders if you have a really good one and stuff. But yeah, because top coat, if you don't put top coat, your nail polish is not going to last that long. Even if you don't put a base coat for some reason, because some polishes could be okay doing that. It's just that it will stain your nails. So, yeah, I just got into a tangent talking about nail polish, because I do sometimes. Even though this is what I use as my base coat sometimes. This is a very generic base coat, but these kind of creamy base coats can be really nice too. I know Simply Nailogical has one. I kind of wish I had it. But I think she said it's something you put that on and then put a top coat on, or whatever. I know she said once, this is the last thing I'm going to say before I fully finish talking and don't make this video extremely long, but, of my talking, is she said, I heard, because I've always had a problem, like sometimes using a color, when sometimes colors look really nice as matte, and she has a matte polish top coat, which is nice, but there is a problem with a lot of those things where you're going to have a lot of things, even if it's good, your product seems to never last extremely long when you use a matte top coat. I don't like matte top coat that much. I don't think most people do, but there's maybe more than others. If you just like a color, everyone loves how shimmery and shiny, I think, most of the time. But there's those times, there's people that maybe like the other one more. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. It's just, me personally, and most people I've seen go for the shiny, glossy. But I have heard that, even though she's not a nail tech, but she's had all the experience by just doing nails like me. I'm not a nail tech either. But she has experience with, she put her glossy top coat, which she calls taco, right? Any taco, which is always considered that, on top. And then after you put the glossy one, you put the matte one afterwards. And she says that makes it last longer. And that seems pretty good. I know how she does her nails, and they're never gonna last extremely long because she does it with a peel-off base coat. That's why her nails get tinted. She doesn't really care because it gets covered. It doesn't damage her nails. It just happens that her nails are always gonna be slightly yellow, you know, and all that, and everything. Yeah, this is like a brand from where I am right now. So, but when I go back to the UK, I'll be getting some more of the brand that I very much like, and I'll probably sometimes be getting the more expensive version because it gives you more polish, whatever. But like I said, if you're still here at this part and point after my rambles, thank you for coming. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't, because not everyone's gonna like it. But very likely, if you're here at this point, you have enjoyed it, I would assume, because why would you be here at this point if you didn't? I just, you know, and just be your positive vibes, blah blah blah, you know, just my shirt that just says positive and vibes all down it, and then the behind it has a smiley face. So live your positive life. I guess that's my motto for today because of my shirt. Just happens to be on there. But of course, as always, like me, keep it sparkling because I love my sparkle. Sparkle, sparkle. Boo!